Hello YouTubers, this is DVD Review Studios here, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the 5th Mission Impossible movie, Rogue Nation, whilst also sharing my thoughts on the overall Mission Impossible franchise. Alright, so the 5th installment of the Mission Impossible series, Rogue Nation, follows on from the phenomenal movie Ghost Protocol, which in my opinion definitely saved this franchise of films from being completely despised. I'm not the biggest fan of the first three movies and really just can't find myself to like them. Just my personal opinion, however, Ghost Protocol really impressed me, and now after seeing Rogue Nation, this has impressed me beyond my expectations. Returning characters are of course Ethan Hunt, portrayed by Tom Cruise, Benji Dunn, played by everyone's favourite Simon Pegg, Jeremy Renner as Brandt, and Ving Rhames as Luther, which has a much larger role than he did in the 4th movie, since that was more or less just a cameo. And as far as new characters go, the badass female character of Ilsa Faust, played by Rebecca Ferguson, was truly one of the best characters in this movie. Simon McBurney as Atlee, and finally the best character and villain, which I personally saved for last in this list, which is the fantastic character of Solomon Lane, portrayed by Sean Harris. Easily one of the best villains I've ever seen, and definitely the best villain in this franchise. As far as the characters go, every single one of them played a huge part to this movie and were all equally essential to the overall narrative. My favourite in the end turned out to be Solomon as the villain, which is easily now one of my favourite movie villains of all time. Being the villain, he never stalled, didn't dare fool around with irritating cliché speeches before doing something brutal. Instead, this is a villain that gets things done in ways that suit him, which is truly relentless, making this character very unique by subverting natural connotations of typical movie villains. Flawless acting from Sean Harris, and just a really great villain, a villain that you want to hate, but is just so likeable because of how amazing he is as a character, which definitely impressed me throughout this movie. Cruise, although not one of my favourite actors, was fantastic in this movie and made the whole experience really enjoyable. Great acting, absolutely incredible stunt performances as always, which blew me away. Simon Pegg had some hilarious one-liners and evolved his character of Benji Dunn even further than he did in Ghost Protocol, which was pleasing since he was one of the key elements of the previous film that made me enjoy it so much. Jeremy Renner, although not in this movie as much as some of the other characters and as much as I would have liked him to be, was absolutely amazing, likewise with Ving Rhames, which you can't flaw him as an actor. One thing that impressed me most of all from the characters in this movie was the female lead, played by Rebecca Ferguson. Truly an unexpected kind of character, which is once again unique to this movie. She doesn't conform to any kind of cliches, even though you can tell she's a partial villain. Yeah, and I lied to the IMF straight away, which did add some great twists into the overall story. But overall, her acting was perfect, and I hope after this performance, she will hopefully become a recognised actress in the near future. The overall story is partially a complex narrative structure, which in some stages I found to be quite irritating. There were many time jumps and unexplained methods of transport from country to country being used, which I felt was a bit of a loophole, but a minor loophole at that. The storyline is absolutely genius and thrilled me from beginning to end. Many scenes throughout are beyond compelling and made me want to see even more brilliance from this film. The main storyline consists of Ethan Hunt going undercover to prove the existence of a secret organisation known as the Syndicate. However, the CIA and other high-ranked agents do not believe in the existence of this group, and due to events that took place in the previous movie, and Ethan Hunt's disappearance in this movie, the IMF is about to be shut down once again. However, after some stalling from Brandt, Benji Dunn and Ethan Hunt managed to prove the existence through some pretty extreme methods. I really do hope we get another Mission Impossible movie. The past two movies have saved the franchise, and honestly, this feels like a franchise of its own now, since I personally like to disregard the first three movies. The gadgets in this movie were great, the stunts were unbelievable, and the acting was amazing. A terrific action thrill ride with some hilarious comedic aspects and some of the best stunts I've seen in a long time. I rate this a 4 out of 5.